Hello everyone, Nordine Zouareg here. Before we actually jump into today's episode, I want to share something special with you. What you are about to hear today is a throwback episode from season 1 of the No Limits Life podcast. When we first released this conversation, our audience was very much smaller, and many of you never had the occasion or the opportunity to actually hear it. As our community continues to grow, I wanted to revisit some of the conversations that have had the greatest and the most impact on our listeners. I'm also excited to share that my new book, The No Limits Life 365 Daily Meditation to Unlock Your Strength and Live Beyond Your Comfort Zone, will be released very soon, September 1st. This book is the culmination of more than 4 decades of my coaching, personal growth, and life experience. It's designed to help you strengthen your mindset, build resilience, and make one intentional decision every day that moves you closer to the life you're capable of living. If you're ready to live beyond your comfort zone and unlock the potential that's already within you, you can pre-order your copy today at the NoLimitsLifeBook.com. NoLimitsLifeBook.com. Now sit back, enjoy this special throwback episode, and as always, keep living with no limits.
Welcome to the No Limits Life podcast. Today, be prepared to be inspired by a story that defies the odds, a journey of resilience, triumph, and the unbreakable human spirit. Now, before we dive in, let me make something clear. This show isn't about politics or religion or personal choices. It's about motivation, inspiration, well-being, and bringing awareness to you, the listeners, so you can live a fuller, better life experience. My guest isn't just a champion in the gym, he's a champion in life. Born 3 months premature, weighing barely 2 pounds in the back of a French army truck in the heart of the Sahara Desert, he entered this world already fighting for survival. From enduring relentless bullying as a child to conquering the global stage as a world-class bodybuilding champion, his path was never just about trophies, it was about purpose. From Mr. France, Mr. Europe, Mr. World, and 2-time Mr. Universe to becoming a globally sought-after high-performance coach, best-selling author, and motivational speaker, he has spent over 3 decades transforming lives. His work extends far beyond fitness. He empowers elite performers, Hollywood icons, top executives, and world-class leaders to shatter limitations, master their mindset, and unlock their true potential. His philosophy: success isn't just about building strength, it's about mastering the mind, embracing resilience, and living with purpose. As the original wellness director of the world-renowned Miraval Resort and Spa, he has revolutionized the way people approach health, wellness, and self-development. Get ready to meet a true force in nature, a world champion, a visionary, and a man on a mission to help you break through barriers and step into your greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend and the host of the No Limits Life podcast, Nordine Zouareg. I don't know if you remember this, but we first met about 10 years ago.
Yes, that's right. And frankly, it is one of those stories where life brings the right people together at the right time.
So picture this, folks. I'm at the grocery store minding my business, and I see this guy, clearly an athlete, clearly a champion. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You could just tell the way he was built. And me being me, I strike up a conversation because, well, I can't help myself.
I'm thinking, all right, another one of those guys who's going to ask me about questions about lifting. But then we start talking about competition, training, mindset, and all these things. And before we know it, we are in that deep conversation about what really matters and how to take things further, to push yourself to the next level, both physically and mentally.
And from that moment, we just clicked.
Exactly.
We've been having these powerful, insightful conversations for over a decade now.
Exactly.
And it's pretty amazing. So we figured, why not share them with the world? And that's why we're here sharing them with you.
Yes, because at the core of everything, we do, whether it's in fitness and business, relationships, or even personal growth, it all comes down to the same key principles. that's why we created the No Limits Life podcast to bring insight, to bring motivation, inspiration every single day.
Okay, so this brings us where we're at today. Nordine, you've worked with so many high achievers, movie stars, CEOs, politicians. What's the one thing they all have in common when it comes to personal growth?
Great question, Ken. There is the one thing that brings every one of us at the same state of understanding. And when we start really being aware of that, and when we realize that no matter how successful one can be, and to keep that lasting success, you need to start from within, your mindset, your emotional well-being, and your ability to manage stress all stems from fear and self-doubt. And how do you manage that? How do you really, how far you can go, determine that, how far you can go in life in mastering your fear, your stress, your anxiety, because they are part of you. Once you know how to master those, you can be at the top and stay at the top. Most of my clients, whether they're at the top of their game or they're just starting, they dedicate their lives into sculpting their bodies, building businesses, and chasing success. That's what it is. But without, it's not long lasting. When you chase success, using content only without the context, it's only a matter of time before it fails. Building inner strength, to avoid that collapse is all about starting from the inside. And that's why we're here. That's why we are helping people build unshakable, lasting strength from the inside and out. In my upcoming book, No Limits Life, I share a truth that most don't realize until it's too late. The top can be lonely, ruthless place, battered by the winds of uncertainty. If you climb without strengthening your, not just your finances, but your mind, your emotion, body, and spirit, it's not going to last. What I call the fitness of life is then building that harmony between mind, the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual aspects of your life. No matter how high you rise, it's only a matter of time before the storms of life send you crashing down. If you don't have that harmony, if you don't build that resilience, both in mind and body. Because, frankly, real success isn't just about reaching the top. It's about staying there, standing firm, and thriving no matter how fierce the winds may blow.
Exactly. And here's what you can expect from the No Limits Life podcast. Every episode is an extension of the 60-second daily boost, offering deeper insights and practical wisdom. Every episode takes the quick, powerful messages you already love and expands on them, breaking them down, transformative ideas, delivering concise yet impactful takeaways, and equipping you with real strategies to apply in your life. It's your daily fuel for motivation, clarity, and strength, helping you stay focused, resilient, and ready to push beyond limits. It's all about small, consistent boosts, just like the show said. Just like exercise, right, Nordine?
Yes, absolutely. Transformation for me is about one big change. It's about the small steps you take every day. In this show, we're going to make sure those steps are fun, enjoyable, engaging, and inspiring. We'll talk about everything from mindset shifts, stress management, to fitness, nutrition, relationship, and personal growth. It's a journey, and we're in it together.
Absolutely.
Yes, all of us, we have this journey or journeys that consist of different stages. For me, the first stage of my life was my birth, born in the back of a truck, weighing a mere 2 pounds from Bedouin parents, Berber, North African parents, ending up in a mortuary because the doctor thought that I wasn't worth living, that my mom was too young to have kids. To the next phase of my life or stage, ended up in France to seek medical attention that landed me in a sanctuary for 2.5 years where I didn't see my parents until they came to claim me back. Then there's the third phase of my life or stage of my life where I found myself victim of bullies and racists. For years, most of my childhood was based on fear and anxiety and panic attacks because I was living a nightmare. That's I think the phase of my life that really was there was a paradigm shift. You know, I always say when you get enough pain, you start questioning yourself whether there's a way out or not. And for me, the only way out, which takes us to the next phase of my life, was to start doing something about myself and gain some sort of self-esteem, self-worth, which are not the same. However, I was able to get into sports, gymnastics, which didn't work too well. I broke my wrists and ended up in a weightlifting gym. And it took me 3.5 years to go from the national level to the world championship, and as you mentioned earlier, to the world stage and the Mr. Universe twice. So there is a phase, you know, and what happened in my head and in my heart that led me to go from that to from a 2-pound baby born or born with weakness and rickets to get to the top. What's happening? Well, it's not so much the head, folks. It's all in the heart. Deep down in your heart, there's something that tells you that you are worth much more than what your current situation allows you to think. You can do, be, or have anything, and that sounds corny. You've heard it before, but I'm going to say it again. You can do, be, or have anything you set your mind to do, be, or have. I am a living proof that you can do it. No matter what your circumstances in life is today, it's just a stage of your life. It's just a phase that's going to propel you to another phase in your life. And that led me. After that, I found myself obsessed about the body, and I asked myself, what's next now? What do I do? I started writing, and my first book was published in 2007 by Warner Books. I kept on writing, and I was vetted to help build a dude ranch, who became 5-time #1 world resort spa, Miraval. I had fun doing it. And then I had to step out after 10 years to do something else. So there's stages in our life, you know, and they're not always high. They can be low. That's why I called the book No Limits Life. Because, and by the way, the book is not about only my stories, but about the experiences I've had in all those steps of life. How did I deal with certain things in my life that propelled me to the next thing instead of burying me in my victimizing self? And so the book No Limits Life is about an inspirational book where you read one quote per day and you get a personal reflection from me based on the experience I have with that specific quote based on my life and different stages of my life. And then a call to action, your own wisdom and how you apply the wisdom in your life. And that podcast is the same thing, but we delve into each reflection and each quote by having guests. And sometimes Ken, you and I will be our own guests and playing ping pong with those quotes and because after all, everyone has a story to tell, and that story is not always rosy. It's not always beautiful. It's not always. There's vulnerability. There's weaknesses, and too many people emphasizes on weaknesses, but how about the strength? Maybe you think too much about your weaknesses, and you have this ability that is buried underneath all this negative thinking, and you don't have the strength to go deep down, dig deep enough to get it out there. There's a beautiful quote that says the only way to get out of a hole is to stop digging. Okay, and you understand what I'm trying to say here. Is stop thinking negatively, because you're digging the hole deeper, and before you know it, you can't get out of it. So before that happens, find the strength to get back up. I remember my father saying this to me one day. I was feeling sad about myself. I came back from school. I was beaten. I believe that day my jacket was taken away, and my parents gave me a hard time about it, and I started crying because I didn't want them to know that I was beaten every single day. I did not want to share it, because it would mean to live it again, to suffer again. So I kept it to myself. And he saw me one day being so sad, and he said, "What's going on, son? What's going on?" And I said, "Dad, I have enough of being this weak child. I cannot take it anymore." And he said, "Son, lay down on the ground." And he asked me to touch the ground. And he said, "What do you feel?" And I said, "The ground." And he said, "Okay, that's the ground. You can't go further down than that. That's all. You can't fall lower than the ground. Now, stand up." I stood up, and he said, "How did you feel?" "What do you mean?" He said, "How long did it take?" "Right away." He said, "That's the same in life. When you fall, get back up. Don't intellectualize it. Don't emotionalize it. If you have to, in order not to repress your feelings, go with it. Feel it, and then get out of it. Get out of your hole. Don't dig deeper." That's something I took, and I still use that from my father. It helps me to move from my current situation, whether it's having trouble with my own clients or my own children, dealing with a situation where I can be, start thinking negative, and before I know it, it snowballs, and there's an avalanche, and then you're buried underneath. So what I do, I just take a deep breath. Remember my father saying, I cannot fall lower than the ground. Stand up and move forward. Get back up.
Absolutely. And, we all have ups and downs, and you believed in yourself. And it's something that, it's, I guess, cliche. You always hear, believe in yourself, but you have to believe in yourself if you're going to get out of that hole. So here's the deal, folks. If you're ready to invest in yourself, to step up and take charge of your life, we want you to be on this journey with us. Hit that subscribe button. This is really important. Please hit the subscribe button right now so you never miss an episode. And also make sure you pass this along, like it, pass it along to somebody that you feel needs it in your heart, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it, and we will too.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. And again, this is not a show about ego. It's a show about your life and what you want to create out of it. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching.
And remember, we're not here to intimidate or judge. This is a space for growth, awareness, and most of all, transformation. We're two friends having powerful conversation to help you thrive. But trust me, you don't want to miss what we've got coming next. We're going to break down the biggest mental roadblocks that hold people back and how to crush them.
One of the things that this is the first time we've done this, and keeping it conversational is always the best thing to do, because listeners can relate to this. And so thank you again for doing this.
Sure. And on top of that, we'll be bringing on some incredible guests, successful, accomplished individuals who have mastered their craft, built unstoppable mindsets, and are ready to share their wisdom with you. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time on the No Limits Life podcast.
Thanks for listening to this special Season 1 throwback episode of the No Limits Life podcast. I truly hope today's conversation gave you more than inspiration. I hope it gave you an insight, a practical insight that you can apply to your own life. If this episode resonated with you, please share with someone who could actually benefit from it or benefit from hearing it. One conversation can change a perspective. One new perspective can change a life. So before you go, I'd also like to personally invite you to check out my upcoming book, The No Limits Life, 365 Daily Meditations to Unlock Your Strength and Live Beyond Your Comfort Zone. This book, as I said earlier, represents the culmination of more than 4 decades of coaching, elite athletics, personal growth, and the life lessons I've learned through adversity, resilience, and transformation. It's not a book you'll read once and place on a shelf. It's a daily companion designed to help you strengthen your mindset, build lasting resilience, and become the person you were created to be. One reflection, one habit, and one intentional decision at a time. You can pre-order your copy today at thenolimitslifebook.com. And thank you for being part of the No Limits Life community. Remember, nobody becomes exceptional in one defining moment. You become exceptional through thousands of intentional decisions. Your life is happening now. So until next time, keep living with no limits.